It has now been about 2 days since your last adventure with Scaleback and Balasar. And in that amount of time, Balasar, you have learned how to infuse spells into your maul to create new added effects, as well as you have studied the Dragon Rune book a bit more, and in testing so, you have added runes to your indoor with the mate that you're sleeping with. You no longer need a key to enter there. You can just say the draconic word for open and it'll recognize you and just like open automatically. Just kind of as testing how to use those runes. Scaleback has in the meantime of course been dodging the guard. Trying to remove any wanted poster for himself he can find in the meantime. Alright, so Anacron. You, unlike the others, you had always kind of lived in this world. You had lived in, further to the north, in a bigger city. You're, oh, crap. Do you want me to give the full backstory or leave that mysterious? I should. I'll let you explain that one later. So, you were hired by, this dragonborn named Lumadrax. You had spent your life in the city in a thieves guild. He hired you to help, this party that he was forming, in order to help stop this supposed great evil. You weren't really paying attention too much, just as long as the coins were good. The only thing that really interested you is he promised, information that you were seeking. Information for a person you were seeking. The travel, of course, was slow because of the bad weather. And so, you have now just entered town, and you had met with, Lumadrax. Which would be right down in here. So he paid your, initial starting fee of, 20 gold. And he directed you up towards the windows, the 6 windows in where the other players were staying. Of course, none of the rest of the party know this. Womback. You were sitting in a tower. You were resting, having climbed your way up, I believe, 5 floors of a tower, with your companion, Balasar and Womback. I'm sorry, Balasar and Grothia. This is your Womback. And you were taking a short rest. Womback... Yeah, I'll get these names right, I promise. Balasar is sitting there sewing cockatrice wings onto his armor after their last conquest. And you were studying some of the items you had found, including a book on the dragon runes, a whip that you find that makes sneezing noises when you crack it, and a wand and some other items you had found. This weird magical pulse pulses through the room. It's almost like getting hit by a big gust of wind to you. You look around and you don't notice anything has really changed. Balasar keeps doing what he's doing. And you think nothing of it, and you continue looking through the book. When a small portal kind of opens in front of you, and outstepping in front of you is yourself.
So Wambach will kind of look over the top of his book and peer over and say, am I dreaming?
And you look over there, and the first thing you notice is, while it is yourself, you do appear much older. That version of you appears much older, and he has this eye that almost glows like the celestial constellation type energy type thing. And he kind of looks back, and he's like, "Oh, I cannot voice act this." So let's just say it's in your voice.
Okay.
So he responds back, basically saying, "No, this is not a dream. I am you, and you am I, and I'm from later." I don't know if that's how you would phrase it.
That sounds about right. Yeah. So I guess I did find it, eh?
And he says, and so much more. But we have a problem. Something's wrong. Something's changing. And I cannot. I cannot intervene in these events. I'm from too far later, and can't affect the now later. However, you're from now, and these events are later, so you can intervene in later now events.
True old Womback.
I see.
That's how he talks.
So he outstretches his hand, and his eye begins to glow pretty brightly. And another portal opens up in front of you. And in front of you, you see a few scenes. You see your friend Balasar again, which is slightly confusing because Balasar is in the room with you. Balasar,
as this happens, by the way, I want to look around. Is anybody else seeing this?
You look around, and neither really seem to notice. Balasar is like sitting there sewing the wings on, and Grothia's just sitting there talking to his mouse, his rat companion.
Okay.
So you're not entirely sure why no one is noticing what you notice. And if a few more images flash, you see a few scenes around the town area. It's almost like a slideshow. You see this weird lizard barbarian man traveling with Scaleback. You see a hooded figure in the distance that you had never seen. And it slowly starts to draw you in before you can. You try to resist at first because a strange you in front of you, magic portal. It's starting to draw you in, and as you enter it, your goggles that
can I say something as it happens?
Yes, you can.
All right, as I get pulled in, I'm gonna say, "I'll see me later."
And then as you're going in, he also says, "I will see me as later as well." So as you're pulled in, however, something goes wrong. Your engineer glasses, as you're sucked in, and you see these swirling vortex of colors, almost like this long tunnel. Your engineer goggles, they begin to crack, and it starts like a little bit, and then it spreads all the way over, and then they explode. One of the lenses explodes, and the shards enter your eye, momentarily blinding you. So you have the shooting pain from your left eye now, which is this excruciating pain. And next thing you know, it subsides, and as you reopen your eyes and start to refocus, you find yourself just kind of out in a field over here, and what looks like kind of a bit of a rural town. Oh, wait. Over here. There we go.
Okay.
I was clicking on OBS expecting it to... So, you begin to kind of inspect yourself one over, trying to figure out what's going on. And you notice the blade in your... what is it called? The
scimitar? Bracer?
The bracer. It begins to glow with these runes. They just kind of spread across it with this dull blue runes that you've never seen before. And you kind of look around, and you do wander a little bit, and you find this little water over here. Which you go to get a drink real fast to try and gain yourself to your senses. And as you look in, you notice your eye, where it once had just been a normal eye, is now that same low-intensity blue constellation-like pattern where your eye was.
Okay. Can I do... I don't want to take up too much time. I want to get us all going. But can I do a... What would it be? An arcane? Do I do arcane? I want to... Can I identify on my bracer? See what's going on?
Yes. What...
All right. I'm going to use my gadget as an action to cast Identify Burning 1 energy.
Okay, so let's see here. One back in space. Crap, I'm trying to remember what the runes were, what your bracer was supposed to do now.
I can't get this to work. There we go.
Balancer. One back. Where is it? Grenade kit. Okay, just make sure. Was that for the critical attack?
Yeah, I think it was the critical attack and the lighter thing.
Oh, right. Okay, so you run a Arcana check on it.
All right, so basically, I discover what it does, right? With the fire.
I didn't know if you were actually going to roll or not. I just didn't see anything.
Oh no! I burned an energy.
Oh,
so
that's
that
right.
I could, yeah.
Sorry, that was my fault. So you burned the energy, and you managed to transcribe out the new runes on there. And they basically translated out to that when you land a critical hit, your energy, you kind of gain energy. And you also find that it gives your glove the ability to create a small flame from your fingertips.
Okay, right on. Okay, so if I look around, what do I see then? I see just where these little L things. Are those all buildings?
Yeah, you see a street of buildings over here. There is a city wall over here. If it'll ping. And then more houses and stuff down this way.
All right. I guess Wombach's just going to kind of start wandering through town looking for, I guess, an inn or a bar, something that I could use to try to, find out where I'm at, get some information. So okay. I'll just start doing that.
All right. So let's. So you start wandering through town. Text, and you get directed. You ask around a little bit for just kind of a tavern, and you get pointed at. Oh my god! Hold on. Okay, so that's labeled now. It points you towards over here, where the nearest full tavern is. And you also get told that there's also an inn over here that you could stay at.
All right. Well, the inn's closer, so Wombach will head that direction.
All right. So as you travel towards there, Scaleback and Balasar, what are you guys doing?
Balazar is just eating a fucking whole cow right now downstairs.
And Scaleback?
Eating food.
Alright, so you both are in there eating food. And Anacron, your meeting has finished, and he directed you towards the inn. Which would be over this way. Oop. So just whenever you're ready, head that way. One back. So you approach the outside of this inn. And it's a 2-story building, pretty decent size, about standard layout from what you can tell from any other inn you've ever been to. And as you open the front door, you immediately see Balasar just chowing down on this whole cow, on this cart in the corner of the room, with a weird lizard man sitting near him, also chowing down, but he only has the ass end of the cow.
All right. Wombox just he's gonna kind of do it like a double take, and kind of evaluate from the doorway and see if it is who he thinks it is, which it'd be hard not for it to be, based on how Balasar looks. So once I notice that it is Balasar, I just want to walk up and sit down next to him, and say, I see you made a new friend.
Friend's a strong word. Balzar doesn't even look at him, just keeps eating his cow. Kind of hides his surprise.
And then basically Wombox looking around like for the person to order food.
Okay, so the innkeeper on the other side of the tavern approaches you and asked if you'd be dining in today.
Do you have mushrooms?
He responded like, unfortunately, mushrooms are not in season at the moment. Our stocks have run out. But right now we're pretty heavy on meat. I can roast up some chicken, maybe cow, like your companions.
Well, yeah. Wait. No. Hold on. And then
or if you want to wait about 30 minutes, we are preparing some stew.
Wombach's gonna pat that, like, start searching, and he's gonna reach into his coat, and he's gonna feel for the mushrooms that he has in there, and he's gonna pull them out and say, "I got me covered." And he's gonna eat the mushrooms that he's got in his coat.
The innkeeper looks and says, "Very well. If you need anything else, just let me know." And goes back to the counter, and looks like he's tending to the books at the moment. Anacron, you have now approached the outside of the inn. You open the door, and the inn is pretty empty at the moment. In one corner, you now see a dragonborn, a lizard man, and a human all sitting around a table. There's 1.5 cows in place, in carts, and the other patrons have decided to sit on the opposite end of the tavern to eat their breakfast.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Oh, fucking... I can't even use my fucking headphones. Okay,
Alright, so you've entered the tavern.
I heard you.
Okay.
Does anybody see me walk in?
Okay, well, they're sitting in the corner. Everyone's passive perception is high enough to notice that you do enter.
Okay. In that case, I kind of just take a spot, kind of just on the edge of the crowd, to where I can just keep them in earshot, just so I can observe.
Okay, so you're sitting about 3 tables down from them, and all they see is just this hooded figure enters and sits down. The innkeeper approaches and asks if you needed anything, any food or beverages or anything.
Got any ale?
and just looks as like eye. He takes 1 silver from you, and brings back a big flagon of ale for you.
I sit there and drink it happily. I mean, just gonna be relaxing and, like I said, just paying attention to what they're doing for now.
Oh, hold on, let me get a drink for this part. I can't voice act this very often.
Brace yourselves.
Alright, so, Scaleback is sitting there eating when his trident begins to vibrate, and he kind of in his head, he hears this screeching voice is going, "What? Who new person?"
What? What?
None of you hear that, only Scaleback.
But what did it say?
What? Who's this new person? Talking about, Womback, sitting in front of him.
I don't know, mysterious voice. I look over at the...
Are you saying that out loud?
Yeah.
Like... God damn it.
I look over at this hooded figure with curiosity, and I use Mage Hand to undo the hood.
Okay.
I ready the light crossbow and grab the hood.
Okay, well, you wouldn't even have to do that. All you'd have to do is roll a dexterity check to see if you can avoid it.
Okay. Well, how do I? What's my
Dexterity is that's just going to be a D20 plus. Hold on. Oh wait, is it yours that I closed? Scale back. Oh no, there it is. Your dexterity is up there at the top. It's a +1, so you'll just roll a 1d20 +1.
All right.
How do we do private, like, GM messages?
/whisper space capital DM.
Well, actually, if you're doing the roll, I think it's /GM roll. So you can whisper, but if you do /GM roll 1d20. Yeah, just /GM roll.
Well, I was trying to whisper, but it's not working, so...
Yeah, if you oh. Okay, /W space, and then if you type D, the DM will pop up and you can click it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I got that.
Sorry about
Okay.
that, guys. I was just trying to figure that out.
I was drinking water.
Alright, so,
What a great GM. Jesus Christ.
I don't like to say no. With a 9, you don't manage to avoid it grabbing the edge of your hood, but you do grab it at first, and you kind of keep it in place. So you've got one hand on the hood, keeping it in place. And the mage hand just disappears.
At this point that Balazar pauses his ravenous eating and kind of looks up, interested in what's going on.
I guess Wombach's gonna turn and look, too.
Who was the one who did Mage Hand?
Scaleback. Scaleback's trident once again vibrates, and you just hear, "Stupid Iron Man! Too late! Move!"
Well, I fire the bolt at Scaleback's feet, and I say it's rude. I just tell him that that's rude, friend.
Okay, I will allow it,
I
but I
need
will
drink
give you
first.
this. I will give you this warning.
Yes.
Firing a bolt in any general direction of Balasar may not be a smart move, even as a warning shot.
That's
But
just
if you
the
want to go,
character.
if
It's
you
not
want
me
to,
being a dick.
yeah. So if you want to go through with it, we will. But I am giving that warning.
Well, what if I just leave it as a threat, and I just leave the and I leave the crossbow in his face? As far as
By the
Scaleback's
time
concerned.
By the time you even try to pull out your crossbow, the innkeeper looks out and yells out, "Hey, if you don't put that away, you will be banned from this place."
And I just
Alzar's barely audibly heard muttering something about non-dragonborns.
Tell me about it.
Alzar was
fuck.
taken aback by that comment by Wombat.
Just out of curiosity, did Balasar know that it's Wambach, or just think that somebody sat next to him? Is my question.
Because of what happened before, I don't know if
I don't know anything, and yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I had gotten a slight glimpse of you the last time around, so you're still kind of fresh in my mind, so I know who you are.
Okay.
Belazar doesn't like to ever appear weak, so he's just acting indifferent, but really he's like, where the fuck did this guy just come from?
There's an awful lot of cows in here, huh?
Yeah, it's not very quiet.
I was just waiting to see if there was any more roleplay before I start the next match.
I'm just looking over to try to figure out what's going on.
well, I go ahead and introduce myself to Scaleback, and I just ask him, "Is there a reason? Why my hood?"
So did you walk over to the table? I'm just trying to get a picture.
Yeah, I walked over.
I know
To
you're-
shouting at us through across
Well, because you're 3 tables away, so I'm just curious.
Yeah, my bad. I get up, I walk over to you guys.
What's that
and go,
for?
"Sorry, friend. Can I help you?"
All right, real quick. What is so? To us, he appears as just a robed, hooded figure.
Right, he has the hood kind of disguises any features of him. You can't see his face or
Just because of the shadow, or
yeah, just because of the shadows.
okay. So I can see through both darkness and magical darkness. So what do I see?
Okay, so you see a half elf with eyes slightly glowing. Where'd I put his description? God damn it. Okay. Yeah, you see a half elf in there. He's got kind of short brown hair. Kind of got a few scars, but
Attractive scars or ugly scars?
they somehow managed to be like attractive scars, like something he could use to help woo the ladies. God help if it goes for Balasar's winch, though.
Fucking Belazar.
All right. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. So okay, you came over and then I didn't remember what you said.
Yeah, it was like, fuck. What's his name?
You asked.
Lumadrax.
yes-
Lumadrax.
No.
Lumadrax has sent me to assist you.
Are you sorry, you were directing that at?
Friggin' just all of them.
Okay.
He's just like talking in your general direction.
Yeah.
I don't know Lumacrax or whoever that is. Honestly, I don't even know what I'm doing, but okay. And I'll pull out a chair for him.
This guy's speaking a lot of nonsense. Do either one of you know this Lumadrax?
I don't speak to cowards that hide their faces.
Scaleback's just
Balzar
talking
keeps
to his
using
trident.
his cow.
Alright, so...
Question: what if I was just to like start roast? Like if I just like made their cow well done real quick, get up and walk out, and as I walk out the door, just make myself invisible, and then just get the fuck out of there for a minute. And
yeah.
then just start stalking them.
Alright, you'd have to roll to hit on your firebolt.
Okay.
Nine.
I mean, it's a cow that has no armor.
Remind you that this is my cow, nobody else's. Just throwing that out there.
Okay, so you launch a firebolt, and it's pretty stationary, so yeah, you hit it, and it kind of bursts into flames, and all they see as you step out of the building, you just kind of disappear where you once were.
So, as he does that, Balzar is fucking furious. And stands up, knocking the table over, and hurls his maul at the door, trying to lead him.
And at the same time, I would also like to do an action too. I don't know whatever he has to roll, but I'll do whatever I got to do after.
What do you need me to roll?
Roll the like you would hit with your maul. It's the D20 plus your attack modifier.
Natural 20. Pissed him off, boy.
All right. Okay, so that obviously connects. I want to do something though, like at this exact same moment. So, do you want me to describe what I'm going to do as well?
Yeah.
Okay. So as I see him casting, getting the firebolt ready, my speed, I don't know what his speed is. My speed's at 40. So I would like to do kind of a tumble off my chair backwards, reach into my bag, grab my drone, throw it out, and fire drone mark for 2 energy at him.
I'm sorry, did you say drone?
Yes,
Yes.
I did.
Like a robot?
Yeah,
He's
like
an
an
engineer.
engineer. Yeah.
Oh.
March-
I feel like I was left out a little bit of important information there.
okay.
So that will give me advantage on any attack roll against him for an
And-
hour.
and any attempts to track it as well.
Yeah, and I'll be out. Yeah.
So as you do that, you you roll back and you grab your drone and you toss it at him, commanding it to mark him. And sorry, what?
I'm burning my energy. Go ahead.
Yeah, and so as you do that, it zooms out the door and locks onto it and marks it, kind of relaying the information back to you there. At the same time, Balasar, having stood up, throws his maul, leading him. He doesn't get more than... he turns invisible, and he doesn't even get more than 2 steps before he takes this maul center mass.
Oh, fuck.
It launches you back a good 20 feet and slams you against this wall right here. And you actually take 14 damage. Your invisibility wears off, and you're just kind of sitting there helpless at the moment. You kind of knock the wind out of you.
I ask him, "What, you don't like your meat well done?" With my like gasping breath and broken ribs.
Balzar starts pulling out one of his throwing hatchets. Probably be a great time for Wambek to intervene.
So I'm at this point, I guess we're all, well, at least I know I'm outside now, chasing him down. and I do see him go down. I am going to utilize my power boots to make sure that I get ahead of Balasar, and I'm going to reach into my bag and pull out the manacles that I have. And I am going to... So you said he's knocked out right now. Am I going to be able to get the manacles on him, or do I have to do a roll?
Yeah, you can go ahead and get him on him, because he can barely move at the moment. He's got some cracked ribs. He's,
How bad does he look as I'm looking at him, how bad does he look?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right.
Yeah, he's
kind of maul, like got launched by a 300-pound dragon man.
It went through the side of a building. Like I was outside, right? And it still busted through the building, and he hit me.
Yeah,
right.
All right.
Well,
yeah, that's a lot of force. I have broken ribs easily.
All right.
And
well,
the wall behind him is pretty cracked as well, where he impacted.
all right. So I'll put the manacles on him, and then I will. How do I do this? Does he look like he's dying?
No, he does not look like he's dying.
Okay.
But it just looks
If
like
he doesn't look like he's dying, then I'm going to wait and just manacle him.
Okay. So for that, I shall put. Yeah, I'll put that. You are now manacled in place and can't move.
Okay. I was just checking something.
How far away is Balazar?
Wombec has already made it to him. You are about halfway between the inn and where Anacron is.
As I manacle him, I'm going to say, yeah, my friend has a bit of a temper.
As he says that, can the hatchet, like, thud next to Wombec in the wall?
And as he's saying that, and better yet, it like 2 inches from the side of Anacron's head. It just thuds and connects and sticks to the wall.
Yeah, see what I mean?
Wouldn't have guessed. You know, still rasping for breath, almost on the verge of blacking out. Broken ribs and all.
Speaking of which, can I get a Constitution check? That would be the D20 plus 1.
All right.
So.
14. You barely managed to remain conscious.
Okay. What if I choose to black out?
Oh no, what'd I miss?
Like that's a lot of fucking pain right there.
I mean, if you just want to give in and pass out, you can.
All right. Right now, Anacron blacks the fuck out.
What
happened?
I missed it.
Oh, he said, what happens if I choose to black out?
Yeah, so that's instead of resisting, he just passes out. So you now have a... let's see if I can find it.
Alright, well, when he passes out, Wombach's going to reach into his satchel, pull out a med kit, and start working on him.
Alright, so...
May I ask where the fuck Scaleback is?
I'm just sitting at the table.
He's...
It's your fault! Any of this happened!
Hey. You
He's just-
attack.
It was fucking stick.
I walk out and go over to look at the unconscious now hooded man. And I pull down the hood.
Fucking okay. Like all of that out of all.
That was my goal the whole time.
Dungeons and Dragons. God damn.
And your trident vibrates once again, and you hear, "Good, no hood."
Good new blood.
No hood.
Oh. Okay.
Oh,
Probably.
probably.
As I'm being mended, does my health go back up at all? I mean, I don't know if he's using or he's just using a first aid kit. So I'm not assuming the ribs are healed. I think they're being supported, and maybe he'll be able to run without, killing himself.
Balzar around.
It should stabilize you, but it shouldn't be healing you.
Okay, so health stays the same. It's just I'm better. I can breathe better, basically.
Right.
Okay. So I don't have no punctured lungs. I didn't have any of that bullshit happen.
No punctured lung.
Cool.
I'm not trying to kill you in your introduction, I promise.
But I
I
don't think a
did.
med kit would exactly fix anything.
He's making a good attempt to kill himself.
Because that would result in a new character role. Honestly, I did warn you. All right, so he's now passed out against the wall. Scaleback having pulled back the hood.
It was Old Man Jenkins.
What does that even mean? Scooby-Doo, really?
All right, so while you're all sitting there,
Can that be canon, please?
yes, that is canon.
We all know my tribe hears voices.
Let's see here, if I can find this. Oh
One of
no.
the voices of the tribe is Shaggy.
My Zoing Scoob! I need a snack!
So you hear the new voice appearing that you hadn't heard before, asking you to go back and get some more food. You don't understand what it means when it's asking for a Scooby snack, specifically.
I go back into the tavern, and I go to eat just so much food. I'm eating the table, if the table weren't covered in gross stuff.
You're like gnawing on the wood at this point. So, this figure approaches, and sees the scene before you, removes the hood of its robe, and you see this almost like semi-dragon, almost like. She's got long blonde hair. She looks pretty young, probably about 23 years old. Looks down and sees him shackled and passed out, and says, "Well, I think he's earning his gold," and just kind of spits at him.
Oh. Balazar instantly likes this woman.
So you see her, and she's looks mostly human, but you see patches of scales, she has kind of, her skin is a little blue tinted a little bit, and she's just got patches of scales around her, and you see her fingernails come out, creating these like really sharp looking claws.
Wombach's going to say, did you hire him to pick a fight with us?
And she looks up and is like, "No, Lumatrax had hired him to help you guys in the coming days."
Yeah, I don't know this Lumacrax guy.
Do you want to...
Balasar, do you know what she's talking about?
Actually,
Yes.
do you want to roll a what do you have? Memory or history or something? I don't know what you got.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you met him.
Wait a minute. Have I met him?
Yeah, he's the one that...
Hold on a second, hold on. I don't have him in my notes.
Threw me in the moving cart.
knocked him out, threw him in the moving cart.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Oh, well, he's not in my notes. Huh. Okay, so I do know this guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Because
So-
I just met him yesterday.
Yeah, pretty
yeah.
much.
Okay. Okay. So she said that Lumacrax had hired him to help us.
Yes.
Yes? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So I redact what I had last said, and I say, I thought Lumacrax didn't like us.
He's had a change of heart. Needs us. He's a lot more personable now.
And like yesterday, he hit you in the head.
Balazar just like kind of rolls his eyes and pretends he doesn't hear him.
So what's he want us to do now?
So she looks over and it's like, okay, so I recognize the lizard over there gnawing on the side of the building. And Balasar. And if she says your name, it's like almost rather disdainfully, too. As if she hadn't just spat at the unconscious guy, she would have spat at you. So I recognize the unconscious guy, but who are you? She said, looking at Womback.
Well, that's funny, because I don't recognize you, and I don't recognize him. And he points at the lizard guy. So, yeah, where there's, that sounds like there's a lot of not recognizing going on now. My name is Womback. What's yours? And he puts his hand out to shake.
So she shakes your hand. My name is Drisveer. And she says, I've come to let you know that Lumadrax is ready for the next stage of the plan. He urges that you come see him at your earliest convenience. And so she turns around and walks back towards the encampment.
Balazar elbows Womback. He's like, intelligence isn't my main attribute, but she seems like a bitch.
She seems nice enough to me. But a little ignorant, I guess. A little rude.
Like
what is she? What?
Drax's people.
Sorry, say again.
Balazar says, in low tones, like most of Lumadrax's people.
I think I'm a little lost right now. So, listen, I told me to come here to talk to you and help you, but I don't know where I am or what's going on. Well, actually, I do, but I don't.
As Womback rambles on, Balazar's eyes narrow and his mouth opens a little more. Completely fucking... Not only confused, but annoyed that Womback is doing this to him yet again.
So, yeah, I'm just... I guess I just finished at about that point, but just... yeah, so, I know what's going on, but I don't, so, what plan is she talking about?
And I thought lizardmen were crazy.
Balasar should remember that, they were, casing out the place of, the alchemist who you had, promised to kill. His lair.
Yes, and Balazar is going to relay this information, because Balazar didn't take notes like he was supposed to. He tells Womback all about the hegemony and what it was that they were dealing with, and the different targets that they had and whatnot.
Okay, so, in terms of targets, they have... Okay, so the hegemony, their main leaders, contains is a group of 6, not including their followers. Their leader is a half-elf by the name of Krakus Sophanus. He was a half-elf druid with a pretty accurate smell around him at all times. He had tricked them when they first appeared to basically gain access to the chaos energy of the multiverse, and disappeared. There was a halfling sorcerer named Vendor who had attacked them with hell dogs in the middle of town.
Oh god.
There was a alchemist by the name of Judas who set this terror upon the town.
Balzar swore to kill before he knew about all this.
Yeah, and Balasar had threatened to kill him. They didn't know, two of the others, they just knew that there was a tiefling named Zarut and a dwarf named Thalmor. And they were thinking that there was a possibility that one of Lumidrax's own Dragonborn would be a traitor and was feeding information to the enemy.
Okay.
Is anybody paying attention to the unconscious?
Yeah, I'm mending you.
Oh, still?
Well, I'm patching you up a little bit, yeah. I don't know. I don't know how much time has passed.
Oh, let's say, while Balasar's relaying the information that has occurred across this far, you finish up your work.
Okay.
And also about this time, you're waking back up, but you're still shackled.
All right, now are these shackles anything special? Like, do they stop any kind of magic or anything?
No, they're just regular shackles.
All right, and again, is anybody paying attention to me?
Well, we're kind of talking, so I guess.
So nobody's like paying
Balasar
any real
isn't.
attention to him.
The
No
only
one's
one,
paying.
the only one paying any form of attention to you is Womback, who was mending you. I don't know if he's still looking at you because he just stepped away.
Yeah, I figure I'm just gonna kind of be kneeling next to him, like I just finished, and I was just talking to, like I was paying more attention to Balasar.
Yeah, so he's kind of looking at you, but not really paying all that much attention. Focused more on Balasar and catching up.
All right, so I want to. Do I have to roll anything special to see if they notice me cast anything?
Sleight of hand. Which would be... Let's see. Hold on, let me pull up here. Sleight of hand would be a d20 plus 3.
My passive perception 16.
So, Womback definitely notices in the corner of his eye.
What am I noticing him cast?
You don't. Well, what I'm casting is minor illusion. Does he know that I'm casting minor illusion, or does he assume that I'm just trying to unlock my chains or something with the spell?
He sees you kind of stick your ring finger out a little bit, which has this ring that almost looked kind of like an octopus. It's got a bunch of tentacles coming off of it, and if you try and focus on it, it almost seems like it's moving. The arms are moving, and you just see the ring. He sees the ring kind of glow a little bit, but he doesn't know exactly what's going on.
All right, so I'm casting minor illusion. What's the range on that? 30 feet. Sorry. Yeah, 30 feet. So I'm casting minor illusion 30 feet away. As loud as I can, which sounds like women and children screaming bloody murder.
Whisper to a scream. Can be your voice, someone. All right. So, okay, so...
I see him do it, but I don't draw any parallels. I just think he's pointing at something happening.
Be a bad time to paint anyway, dummy.
Say what?
Nothing. It said be bad time to paint anyway. Drawing parallels. I get it.
I get it.
So
I guess I'm just gonna look at the screaming women and children.
So everybody looks in that direction?
I would think it'd be safe to assume so.
Okay, I cast invisibility on myself, stand up and start walking away.
Okay, you are still, marked, so Wombat can, still try and track you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as far as that mark goes, does he have to have line of sight? Like, to actually see me and get to me, he has to have line of sight, but he'll know the general area I'm in, right?
The mark works as a... Let me find it here. You are marked for an hour. I have advantage rolls on you. And you are covered in a faint glow that I can see.
Okay, so there's no reason to even... But see, I wouldn't know that.
You wouldn't know that.
You wouldn't know that.
So, yeah, so I go ahead and I cast invisibility, and I just walk away. I'm not trying to do anything malicious. You can see that, like, I'm just sitting here just going, fuck, how do I get out of these? I'm walking to the nearest blacksmith because I hear him banging away. And you guys are just hearing them scream because they're screaming for a full minute. So, right now your attention's on that anyway.
I think that Wambach would certainly be running in that direction. I wouldn't have just stopped and turned. I'd have ran off.
Balazar is just kind of looking in that direction, weighing his options. Should he go? Should he stay? Might be something to kill. Might be gold, but what's the effort? Are we ever all really even alive? What happens when we die?
Okay, so he's a teenager with depression issues.
Definitely anger issues.
He sounds like he's listening to Hawthorne Heights.
Yeah, Balzar is just kind of fucking looking in that direction, sighing, not really going anywhere. But you do notice that he summons his maul to his hand.
Okay.
Which direction did the noise come from, by the way, so I can move my character? Was it like this direction or what?
Yeah. Well, how far is this? Right? Can I click on the map and it like highlights or anything?
Okay, on the top left of the screen, I think you should be able to. Looks like a little ruler. You can click that and you can create a. Yeah.
Okay, got it. So, 30 feet from me.
Scaling's a little bit off.
Not the scale at all.
So I would.
I would say like that's 30 feet. Like right here is about 30 feet. Yeah.
30.
So about right here.
From you, probably 10 feet on this thing would be 30 feet.
Yeah, it's about a 1/3 scale, really.
Yeah.
Okay, so far enough away that. Yeah, over here. Boom.
Okay, so yeah, you hear from
Like behind the buildings where nobody can see, you just know to take off in that direction. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of up over in this area right here.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna run down the road there.
So you run down the road, and as you approach it, you can hear screams, but you can't figure out where it's coming from.
All right, I'm just gonna kind of be like spinning around, looking, in like a very quick and panicked mode, trying to see where things are coming from.
Show me where the closest blacksmith is, real quick.
Blacksmith will be. Right over here. Let me label that so I can stop losing things.
Okay. Well, I'm making my way towards the blacksmith whilst invisible.